trying to get open, fires away. Bang!
I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners do. A boss is a role that I've grown into. I love you to death, but I told you the truth. I can't just be with you and only you. Yeah, I got one Virgil, got one in that day. It's the only two, man. How many times have I shown and proved, man? How many nights I've been woke, swerving the potholes, not trying to fuck up the wheels on the road, okay? Funny how life goes. He thought he was sick, now we wiping his nose, okay? Soon as you give him your soul, you blow up and they say you're selling your soul, okay? They want my life exposed, they want to know about the highs and lows. Well, summer all I did was rest, okay? And New Year's all I did was stretch, okay? And Valentine's Day I had sex, okay? We'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen next, okay? Okay, we'll see what's about to happen. Hey, we'll see what's about to happen. Hey, we'll see what's about to happen.
Hey.
Today, the liquor been taking the pain away. I heard.
What's up, Brandon? Okay. No, first stream of the month. Try to be streaming every Thursday if I can, around the same time. I don't know. I'm a little late because I had to upload a short, but let's get. We're gonna be talking about some movie news. We'll be playing some games, doing some reactions, all type of stuff. We'll be on for about 2-3 hours or so. So first, let's go over here. Hold on. I'm doing good. Also, it's my first stream, so it might be a little rough. You know what I'm saying, but anyway. So I got a few things I wanted to talk about real quick. I wanted to talk about, the Batman Part 2. So it looks like good old Bucky Barnes is going to be going to moving to DC, and it looks like he's probably going to be playing Two-Face in the Batman Part 2, which kind of makes sense because it's a more grounded take on Batman, because there also is going to be another James Gunn DCU Batman to go along with like Superman and everything that just came out. But it looks like he's going to be playing Harvey Dent in the second one. Here's like a custom fan made picture somebody made, which actually looks pretty good. I don't know if he look exactly like this, but something like that would be fire, I'd say. Now you find a way to, there it goes. But yeah, I think what they're trying to go for, that looks ugly. But I think what they're trying to go for is they're trying to go for like a long Halloween themed movie, because apparently Scarlett Johansson was cast as her, or as his wife in the movie, and in that story she's pretty important, I guess. But also she could also be confirmed, or not confirmed, she could also be casted as the Phantasm, if y'all ever remember that movie. Mask. I forget her name. It's like her, because she has like, it kind of ties into the Joker's origin in that movie, if I remember right. This old animated movie from the animated series. And I think what they're going to be doing is, I think this will be more interesting than just a whole, he's just going to be Harvey Dent, she'll be his wife, and kind of doing the long Halloween. Because in the Batman movie, it was kind of already like the long Halloween, just with the Riddler. I think this would be more interesting, especially if you're going to cast Scarlett Johansson. I feel like you're going to want her to do some like action Black Widow-esque type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this movie is goated for real. But I think if they go with this, it'd be fire, honestly. And the first part of the Batman, it was a good movie. I don't think it's the best Batman live action movie. I think The Dark Knight still beats it out by a little bit. And Superman was good too, but I'm not that big of a Superman fan, so I thought it was the best Superman movie I've seen. So that's something, but I'm not that big of a Superman fan. So, but I am excited to see what they're going to be doing for the whole that universe, or whatever. But I think this will be an interesting story for the Matt Reeves version of it, the more realistic Batman, because I think this was kind of still staying the grounded type of world they're trying to have, but he could also do some cool stuff with this type of character and it being Scarlett Johansson because she's already a redhead and everything too. And then you could have it kind of be like a parallel between what Batman could fall into if he doesn't like stick to like his no kill rule and all that type of stuff. And the Joker is going to be in that movie. The Joker that was in the Batman movie. What was it? What's the dude's name? It's like Joker. I forget his name. It's like Barry. He was in the Eternals. Joker. Yeah, this dude. I think they need to really, really tone down his design though, because this nigga is ugly. That's all I gotta say. And he looks. There's a better one where it like kind of showed more of his face. It's this. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this ain't it to me. This is not it to me. This is not it. This right here. I don't like that. I'm not gonna say like the Joker got to be like a good looking dude, but I think this is a little much. Like he looks like the Joker from The Death in the Family. Have you ever seen that comic where he like cut his face off? Family Joker. Yeah, he kind of looks like this, which is creepy as fuck. I can't lie, but I think they need to tone that down a little bit because I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like it as the first appearance of Joker because it's like, oh, he does look creepy though. I will say that, but I think they should tone that down and give us a little bit more like. I think this is a good look. Or I saw another one that wasn't as. I saw another one that wasn't as bad as that, where he still looks. His face still looks ugly, but it's not like, god damn, you know what I mean? Like fuck. But yeah, that's what I think they're trying. That's what I would do if I was Matt Reeves. But I honestly, even if they do go with Long Halloween, Matt Reeves doesn't really miss because have you ever seen any of the newer Planet of the Apes movies? God damn, this nigga is ugly. But any of the newer Planet of the Apes movies, uh, yeah, this isn't that bad, I guess. But any of the Planet of the Apes movies, he's the one who directed all of those, except for like the last one. But the main trilogy with Caesar and all that, he directed all those, and those are all gas. So I think that'd be a good idea. Just all I trust what he's got going on, but I do think the Mask of the Phantasm would be the best way to go because there's even like a fan edit of Scarlett Johansson as a Phantasm. The Mask of Pregnancy. Scarlett Johansson. I'm about to type in her last name. This is tough. This would be tough. I think that'd be so fire if they did this. I think that'd be so tough if they did something like this. Cause it's not even like a crazy. It's not even like that hard of a costume to even adapt. You can make it look serious and everything. This would be tough. Cause and you give Batman kind of like a love interest. You can also explore more of his past because we didn't really see this Batman's past, like how he was trained and everything like that, and how like if he was introduced to her or not. I think that'd be tough. I think that'd be super fire. I think that'd be crazy. And then she could like stick around for like you could do some more stuff for her too if you wanted. Like I could even see them spinning it off into something because if you haven't seen the Penguin TV show, that shit is gas. That was the best show that came out last year in 2024. I don't know if it was 2024 or 2025, but that show was fire. And if they could do something like that with Scarlett Johansson on HBO, yeah, do that. I'm down for that because this would be tough. This would be tough. Because that's my thoughts about that. That's what I think. I think that's what they're gearing up to do. It's also funny that like, does that mean he's about to die um in Doomsday or Secret Wars? I mean, he's been in like damn near. I think he's maybe been in the most MC movies or top three for sure. Which I think that'd be a good idea to kind of kill him off for the reboot or whatever when they eventually get to Secret Wars. I think he's going to be in Secret Wars though, Sebastian Stan. But anyway, let's go on to the next topic we're going to talk about. Okay, also, if you didn't know the fourth trailer, because you know the MCU has been doing these four trailers or a trailer each week in theaters playing in front of like Avatar. It's basically four teaser trailers for Avengers Doomsday. You know, we got the Steve Rogers one, we got the Thor one, and the X-Men one, which I think is the best one. Thor one was tough too. If I was going to rank them, I'd go Thor. Oh no, I'll go X-Men, Thor, and then Steve. And I said these are getting me pretty hyped to see this. But there was one that leaked, and it was basically with I'm not gonna show it because I ain't trying to get fucking sniped out by Kevin Feige. But it was basically the Fantastic Four. I guess they were landing in Wakanda and they were meeting with Shuri. And it showed they were like what they showed in the trailer was they showed a bit of the Atlanteans, and I guess they might have been there too. And it showed Namor, and he had like this black fit on from like the comics. It kind of looked like this. Namor black suit, black armor. If my PC will load, okay. It kind of looked like where was it? Like this, kind of, because he had kind of like this. He had like a collar that was kind of popped up. But I think this is a tough design, and that's kind of what it looked like. I think he had like kind of like a trench coatish thing going on too. But basically, they touched down and they met with basically it was M'Baku and Shuri, and they both met with the Thing, and M'Baku like introduced himself as the king, and then the Ben Grimm was like, "Yeah, I'm just from Yancey Street or whatever." Between this and that, I thought that trailer was okay. That one, I think that one was like um the least like hype out of all of them. But I do think it's interesting that I do think it is kind of nice that they kind of had a since Black Panther his first appearance was in the Fantastic Four comics. I think it's kind of cool that they're having them at least um meet with the Fantastic Four at least, or meet with Wakanda, I should say, because since they can't really have T'Challa in this movie. Well, he might show up in this movie. I don't know. He might be recast. That's a short I just uploaded. Will be out around like 7, I think. But yeah, I think that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be tough. I'm really interested to see in that movie. Like, if you remember in like Infinity War, there was like different groups of heroes that are paired together. Like it was like the Guardians and like Iron Man and Spider Man and Doctor Strange. And it was like Steve and his team and different different teams together. I'm really interested to see how they pair everybody up because there's about to be so many niggas in this movie. And this movie got to be close to 3 hours long. It just got to be. But yeah, that comic that's from Avengers comic. Oh yeah, I think that's what That's what it looked like they were doing to me. It looked very similar to that, but I think he had like more of a trench coat on. We don't really see him for that long, and the quality wasn't that good on the teaser. But he was with the other like Atlanteans, and it looked like they were in the same area that Shuri and the Thing were in too. So I don't know. Yeah, returning Doomsday reveals the King of Town will cross paths the characters plenty from the page. Oh, and I wonder if he's going to meet with. I don't think they're going to do the whole Sue Storm angle with Namor because I'm pretty sure he doesn't like white people. If I remember correctly from Wakanda Forever, he does not like white people. White people. They kind of killed his like family or something like that. If I remember right. So I don't know if they're going to do that. And plus, I couldn't really see them doing it. But also, I think what's going to happen in this movie, I feel like if anybody's going to join Doctor Doom from the hero side, if you're going to call him one, I think it's going to be him for sure. I could definitely see him teaming up with Doctor Doom. I think that'd be tough. He kind of does that in the comics, or he tries to. At least he teams up with Thanos in the like secret or the lead up to Secret Wars in the most recent Secret Wars that came out like 2015 or whatever. That's kind of what he did. But yeah, back to what I was saying before though. About another thing about that is we might be getting Damson Idris playing T'Challa or maybe playing his son that showed up in the end of Wakanda Forever. Because there's already been speculation about that last year because he's been getting asked about it a lot and he was kind of like giving coy answers with it. And he also showed up on the not a red carpet. It was like a runway with it was a runway for a Vogue and he was with Okoye, like one of the Wakandan generals with the spears and stuff, and T'Challa's mom, um, Angela Bassett. They were like on the red carpet, and they were dressed not him, but they were dressed in like Wakandan outfits because that's what the Vogue thing was for, I guess. So I'm thinking there's a lot of stuff that's pointing to that, and hey, he would be perfect as to be recast, whether he's from another multiverse or he's just his son, and to like kind of do a future Trunk situation where he's like from the future or something happens where he grows up instantly or something like that. I don't know, but I think that'd be tough. I think it's way past time that we recasted T'Challa. Like I know Shuri was Black Panther for a little bit in the comics, but come on now, bro. Everything we know that's cool about Black Panther comes from T'Challa. That's all. That's all I gotta say. Let's get T'Challa back into prominence. Hopefully, he shows up in Black Panther 3 because this report was saying that he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and in a Black Panther movie. Like right here from the Geeky Cast, it's like a website where they kind of get some scoops from. I think they're pretty reliable. He said he's going to be spending a lot of time in Pinewood Studios this year, shooting multiple movies as the Black Panther, which would be tough. Just be super tough. Hopefully they give him like a. I like T'Challa's suit from the first Black Panther. Black Panther first Black Panther. 2018 suit. I like. Oh no, not from the first Black Panther. From Civil War. His suit in Civil War, I think, is the best one. Like his one in yeah, this suit is tough. Like they cooked so hard with this, like it couldn't really do nothing else to top it. And it's also kind of hard to there's only so much you can really do with the Black Panther suit without like over designing it, you know? Because it's really a simple suit, and you can't like you got to be like do subtle stuff with it. But this is tough though. This suit was tough. What I don't want them to do is I don't want them to give him like the cowl, like when his mouth is showing. I hate that. I always hated that. I don't know if you've ever seen those old Avengers animated movies. What was it called? What's it called? Ultimate Avengers? Ultimate Avengers animated movie. Was it the second one or the first one? I think it was the second one. Yeah, it was. I hate whenever he has his mouth. I do not like this at all. I hate this. I didn't mean to go to that, but I hate this design. I hate this design. I don't know why. I just don't. It just looks weird. Super weird to me. I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't know. That's just, it just doesn't look right. I don't know. That just looks weird, bro. A cape would go hard for Namor. A cape would go hard for T'Challa also. That would be because I don't think has he had one. I don't think he's had one in the MCU, and that would be tough. Because like this to me this is like super over designed. If you know what I mean. And his mouth is out. I don't like it. I don't know why is his mouth out. I don't like it. I just don't. I don't know why. It is like, I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with that. And it is like it's a little over designed too. Like I don't know. It's just mhm. Like his actual movie suit is tough too. I just like the mask or the helmet better on the other one with the wide eyes. It also is cool when you actually can see his eyes. Yeah, Black Panther with a cape would be tough too. Black Panther. I think they could do something where it's like Black Panther cape. Like I think giving him a cape would be tough. And something like this would be crazy. With a gold and black, but like a more like a dark black, and then like that would be crazy. That'd be so tough. That would be so tough. Oh, that would go so hard. Yeah, they could. Well, I think someone put like a custom cape on this one, but this would go stupid. This would go stupid. Like, and then they give him like gold eyes too. Oh, that would be so tough. So tough. Like just him sitting on a throne with this would be crazy. Would be crazy. I know a lot of people don't want him to don't want to just dismiss Shuri so quickly, but I'm like, Shuri's not really, especially MCU Shuri, she's not really that like. I don't think she was ever set up to be that. I know they like. I understand not recasting him right away in the second movie because he just passed away and they had to kind of like refigure that movie and everything. But this is okay too. I just kind of think that the like cloth or whatever he has is a little bit like I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe if he had like didn't have a full suit on and maybe had like a mask, then this and maybe some other stuff right here would be tough. But back to Shuri, like I think she was never really set up to be the like Black Panther. Like I don't like she was kind of like set up to be like his like person that makes all his gear like he's James Bond in that first movie. That's kind of what I was getting from that. They have some concept art of what it looks like of yeah, this, but like better. This would be tough, but better. I'll give him gold eyes. I wouldn't have it look so much like armor. I'd have it look a little bit more like mesh type of thing. But like kind of what they did with Spider-Man's new what they're doing to Spider-Man's new suit, but maybe make it a little bit more like thicker, but like not as much armor, but kind of like clothy like that. I think that'd be tough. Tough with this design, golly, that shit would be go hard. That would go stupid. I think if you've never seen Snowfall or if you've never seen, well, Snowfall is mainly what I know Damson Idris from. Um, Damson Idris. Snowfall. He's really good at Snowfall. That was like his breakout role. He was also in F1 with Brad Pitt. It's like the racing movie. He was good in that. He was more of like the secondary character though. It was more about Brad Pitt than he was, but he was good in that. I think he'd be great for Black Panther. He's young enough to where you can get another 10 years out of him as being Black Panther. And yeah, I think he'd be great for that. I was thinking he could be a good Blade too, because I really think they need to recast Blade. That's a whole nother thing. Like Blade, that or Mahershala Ali, I thought that nigga was too old when he was playing Blade. When he was announced as Blade in like 2020. I think spell his name. Mahershala. How old is he? Now he looks the part of Blade and everything. I think he's 51. God, like unless they're gonna go for an older Blade, they need to recast him. I'd say because I was thinking Damson Idris could be a good Blade, but I kind of like him better as Black Panther. I don't know who they're gonna if they do recast the Blade. I don't know who they're gonna do it as, but and it wouldn't be hard for them to do it because we haven't even seen like Blade actual like appearance in the MCU outside of Marvel Zombies, but that was like a Moon Knight Blade fusion thing they had going on, so they can just act like that shit didn't happen. Although Marvel Zombies, that little movie was tough, or little series they had was kind of tough. I did fuck with that. I didn't like the way it ended on the cliffhanger, but that shit was hard. But yeah, that's gonna be that's my thoughts about that. I think he would be super good as Black Panther, and I think this design is what they need to go with. This design with the cape is tough. Him with a cape would go hard because the only people who have capes in the MCU, even in Marvel in general, is like Thor and Vision. That's pretty much it. And T'Challa with the cape with the collar popped out, bruh, bruh. They need to make that happen. All right, moving on. Let's get to what else? Oh yeah, there's like some rumored fights that's gonna be happening. Like one of them is gonna be like Mr. Fantastic versus Nightcrawler, which is interesting. I don't know if they've ever even I don't even ever seen them like stand next to each other, which is which is gonna be funny. So I think that'd be like the fight scenes they could do in this movie. I think this movie is mainly gonna be Doomsday at least. I think it's mainly gonna be like Doctor Doom is gonna be like kind of pit the Avengers against Ryan Gosling as Blade for sure. uh he's like the reverse State Walker. He can only be out at night because his skin is burnt, but he's like that should be funny. But I was gonna say I think the plot of this Avengers Doomsday is gonna be like Doctor Doom's gonna be like try to pit like the heroes versus against each other while he kind of does what he does in the background to like gain power. Because the Avengers and X-Men are definitely gonna fight. And then Fantastic Four is gonna be in the mix in there somewhere. And yeah, now it says the dude who played Nightcrawler in the X-Men 2. I recently just rewatched that. Shit's not that movie was not that bad to me. Maybe I'm like nostalgic. I was kind of messed with it. They did some decently good stuff in that movie. It was just like, for what it was at its time, I think that movie was tough. I haven't rewatched X-Men 3 though yet, so I can't speak about that one. But yeah, Alan Cumming who's playing Nightcrawler, he said I never read this shit. He said he broke Pedro Pascal, but was it during a fight scene? Because I know that he's gonna be fighting him. Gambit's gonna be fighting. They said Gambit's gonna fight Doctor Doom, and he's gonna fight someone else too. I think it was Shang-Chi. That shit gonna be tough. Shang-Chi versus Gambit is gonna be a hard ass fight. That's gonna be tough, especially if they get. Because one thing I would say I think the MCU has been missing is you've been wanting to rewatch all the X-Men movies. Yeah, I started rewatching. I rewatched the first one. I rewatched First Class, and then I watched the first X-Men, and then I watched X-Men 2 because I'm trying to show someone to my little sister. But if they can get the choreography that they had back in like Civil War and in Winter Soldier back into some more MCU movies. Cause that's something I do think's been missing also is like the action from that time. Well, that shit's gonna be so the fight scenes they could do in this would be so tough. Just like imagine like um the type of fights they had with Thanos in Infinity War with like Doctor Strange. The fights they could do in this movie would be so tough. So many different ones, like Cyclops versus Captain America, whether it's Sam or Steve or whatever, or even Bucky. Oh, it's gonna be so tough. And then the team ups they could have, bruh. The team ups when they actually do start working together, could be crazy. Because I was hearing other stuff that like there's like a couple secret characters that are gonna be in a Fantastic Four ship when they like land into the main MCU, and they were saying it might be like Wolverine, like Hugh Jackman from Deadpool and Wolverine and Deadpool, or like Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's in there somewhere because they're like kind of saving people from the yeah, dude. I know you don't want to watch X-Men, but you're going to. You're going to watch every single one. How many X-Men movies? How many X-Men movies are there? Let's see. X-Men movies. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, all of these. All of these are in your future, dude. Before Avengers Doomsday comes out, you watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, you don't gotta watch Deadpool movies. You already saw them. I think you saw Logan too. I'm not sure, but these ones, or at least these ones, these ones at least up here, the first three plus these two, for sure, you're watching them. Yes, yes, you are. Indeed, but yeah, the fights they could have in this, movie are gonna be crazy. But let's read about what he was talking about. He broke him. What does that mean? What does that mean? All the X-Men cast are in it too. What was funny was that in my first scene with Pedro, he hurt his neck and he had to go home. They were actually like fighting each other. Because you would assume that, well, I guess is kind of a good thing there be just a CGI fight. But the fight scene, but I need them to bring back how Nightcrawler was moving in X-Men 2. Like that opening scene in X-Men 2 is so tough. Let's see, YouTube. That opening scene of that when he was in the White House, teleporting everywhere. Didn't he give him some swords? And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Or like he was fighting X-Men 97. White House. This right here.
Switch to TurboTax
We got ad.
and file your own taxes free in the app. If
My
you
mom
didn't
does my
file with us
taxes. It's
last
okay.
year.
I don't need
Just file
TurboTax.
with TurboTax Do It Yourself by February 28th. Download now.
Like this right here. When he was teleporting all over the place. I don't know if you're Brandon. I don't know if you ever played. I don't think you talk about it on the console. I don't know if you ever played one of these X-Men movie games. This is so tough. This thing was so tough when I was little. I don't know if you ever played any of those X-Men games. There's a level where you can play as Nightcrawler. Yeah, for real. I don't got premium. I can't do it. But I don't know if you're there's an X-Men game. It was old. I played on the original Xbox where it was like different missions. You could play as Iceman. You could play as uh Wolverine. You could play as Nightcrawler. I don't know. I think that was everybody you could play as, but you could like Iceman. You could like slide around in New York, like around the Statue of Liberty on that lake or whatever, and you could beat Nightcrawler. It was kind of like you could teleport. It was tough. From what I remember, I don't know. It might be like janky, like super janky, because from what I remember, it was fire though. But yeah, like he hurt his neck in his movie. Like they doing their own stunts. I can see Pedro kind of doing his own stunts. I guess. Where was that story at? Was it this one? Maybe I deleted it. I don't know. But I can see Pedro doing his own stunts, I guess. Oh, here it is. I can see him doing his own stunts, I guess, but he hurt his neck. That's kind of weird. But I guess that means it's going to be more like practical stuff going on, I guess. We're in the scene together. No, I wasn't fighting. No, I was just sort of we were just together in the scene and I wasn't fighting. No, he claimed he had these big long arms, everything. So it was quite complicated. I do have a tail, but I didn't have a tail on at the time. Pedro didn't have his arms on either. Starting these fights and I'm like, what? Who am I fighting with? They're hitting Pedro against the head. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think there's gonna be some crazy fight scene in this movie. I wonder what all X-Men are gonna, because I heard Storm's not gonna be in it. I heard Jean's not gonna be in it because they couldn't get like Holly Berry or the actress that played Jean. So I don't know what. Cyclops is gonna be in it for sure. Magneto and Charles are gonna be in it. Nightcrawler is gonna be in it. I wonder if they're gonna get like they gotta get some female X-Men in there somewhere, like Rogue or Psylocke or somebody, some female X-Men gonna be in there anyway. And I don't even know what timeline these X-Men are gonna be from because they're definitely not the OG trilogy ones with all black leather and everything. I don't think they're from. They can't be from Wolverine's universe from Deadpool and Wolverine because he said they all died or whatever, and not from Logan because that's kind of the same. So I'm gonna guess they're the same ones, which is different. I don't know, but I can't wait to see the fight scenes in this. I can't wait till we can actually get to, like some more comic accurate X-Men movies where they got their full suits on and everything, like we saw at Cyclops and with Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, and just be. I want the when the MCU reboots, I want it to be like super comic booky. Like I want it to feel like Spider-Man could just be swinging doing something, and then he sees the Human Torch flying around, and they go hang out and do something. That's what I want. That's what I want it to feel like. But let's move on to the next topic. Okay, we got some new stuff from Supergirl. She got some new promo posters and like a new like still from the movie with Millie Alcock. I watched her from House of the Dragon. She was in the first season. She was really good in that. That's the first. I think that's the first thing she was in, or the first thing I saw her in at least. But let's see. We got her and Crypto on a poster. This poster's okay. I wouldn't like hang this up or nothing. She's not a side. She's not anyone's sidekick. Was she ever considered a sidekick, Supergirl? I don't think I ever considered her Superman's sidekick. I'm definitely getting some heavy Guardians of the Galaxy vibes from this movie. I wonder how this movie's going to do. I'm really interested. Like this would be a tougher poster if you ask me. They did like from that comic that this is based off of with Crypto down there. But I wonder how this movie's going to be. Like going to do. I mean, because I kind of can see it not. I could see it not doing as good box office wise. I mean, yeah, random ass variants for sure. But I can see this movie kind of doing not as well as Superman. I don't know. I think we gotta wait to see till we see like an official trailer because what's his name? Jason Momoa is gonna be playing Lobo. I think if that trailer shows Lobo like heavy and he's like how crazy he could be in the comics and then like all the animated shows and everything like he's like funny. I think that'll get more people to watch it and get more people interested in it. Because we only got like that short, super short teaser. It was like a minute or so long, and it's based off. It's just mostly in space and everything. I don't know. I was definitely getting heavy Guardians vibes from that trailer. If you haven't seen it, I just think I don't know. I can see people like hating on like not wanting to see it because they don't like seeing women or female superheroes in movies and stuff. But I think this movie could either be because James Gunn's not directing this one either, so this movie could be. I think it's either. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's either gonna be not good or it's gonna be like fire. I don't think it's gonna be much in between. Because one thing I want them to hurry up and get to like the stuff we want to see in the DCU. Like I'm sorry, like James Gunn, he makes good. He doesn't really miss any comic movies or comic book projects aside of. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Peacemaker season 2, but outside of that, he don't really be missing. But at the same time, he has like this thing where he likes to make like obscure. Yeah, Lobo does look gas, but he likes to make obscure like characters like more prominent than they need to be. But it's like that's cool when you do it with the MCU, when you're doing it with like the Guardians and stuff like that, because the MCU is already like rolling and like already had like mad momentum with that. But you can't just start the gate out like because movies. There's a couple movies that were supposed to come out that aren't coming out anymore. It was like a Sergeant Rock movie, which whoever that is, like who, like I don't even know who that is. He's like some soldier from like World War II era, and like had some comics out in the DC uh shit. But there's another one too that got canceled or that's not coming out anytime, or got delayed at least. But also, like the movie after this is gonna be Clayface. I'm not trying to see a Clayface movie. That's not what the fans want to see. Like from that TikTok, that's not. I'm not trying to see a Clayface movie, unless you're gonna make it. Unless you're gonna make it like there's this new Batman animated series that came out on Amazon. Batman, Amazon. Yeah, this movie or this show. This Clayface was actually an interesting take on Clayface. If they wanted to make this a Clayface movie where he's like a serial killer, where he's like a serial killer and his face is like messed up because he tried to do something to it and it like messed his face up. He's like an actor and he was killing all the cast of his. Like, this would be a crazy movie. Like, this would be a scary movie. You want to make a straight up horror movie like this, and it's just kind of based on Clayface. That would be more interesting to me than if you're just trying to make a Clayface movie and it's this nigga right here. I don't like. I'm not trying to see a whole movie about him. Like, I get it. He could be like a body horror ish type of movie, but like, especially if Batman is not going to be in it. If Bat, if doesn't know Summer Rock, but if Batman's not going to be in this movie, like what? Like, I don't care. I don't want to see. I don't care about Clayface, bro. Not like that. Like, you can get away with that with certain characters like Joker and stuff like that. But I'm not trying to see even the Joker. I don't want to really see if he ain't gonna be fighting Batman or have nothing to do with Batman. Like, bruh. Unless it was something like this where it's like a straight up horror slasher movie. And they could make this a mystery movie too, because in this movie he was kind of like, or in this show, he was like molding it. He can mold his face to look like other people, and that's why they called him Clayface. He was pretending to be people. It was kind of like a mystery about who's killing these people, and it was like someone who was working on the movie set that they were making, or the set of the movie that they were making, which would be way more interesting to me than that. But this nigga here, I don't want to see him unless he's fighting Batman. I want to see him unless he's fighting Batman in like an opening scene of the new Batman that's going to come out from the James Gunn shit. Otherwise, I ain't trying to see it. I ain't trying to see it. I ain't trying to see it. They can keep that. But back to Supergirl. I think Supergirl is going to be. I think if they get her and Lobo have like a great interactions and Lobo's like really like if Lobo steals the show of this movie or steals this movie, I think that'd be super tough. I think that'd be tough. I think that'd be great. But let's see what else we got. I think that's all the movie news topics I got. It's been a little bit slow so far this month for movie news. There hasn't been nothing too crazy I want to talk about yet. Or nothing too crazy that's like information that's come out yet. From what I've seen. From like, because I usually get my sources from like Twitter or this website's good. Not too much stuff. Let's see what else we got. Superman versus Homelander. Superman would dog walk Homelander. It looks like he is. Superman would do something bad to Homelander. Yeah, Captain America might get on Homelander's ass. Like, I'm not even lying. Homelander is not really like in the Boys universe. He's like a big threat, but yeah, need to take lessons. Trying to make C-list villain relevant without Spider-Man for sure. Like, I don't know why Sony even does that. I think it has to be something to where like in their contract with Tom Holland, like it has to be something to where like he can be the only one Spider-Man that shows up in their movies or something like that, or the main Spider-Man in their movies. Because I don't know how after No Way Home there wasn't Amazing Spider-Man 3 uh put out or started production, and same with Spider-Man 4 was hoping. I don't know how that's. I think at least Toby movie making $1 billion, Andrew movie making like 600 million, something like that at least. I don't understand how those weren't just like greenlit. But yeah, let me get a Craven the Hunter movie. Let me get Madam Web. Like Madam Web? Like Madam Web, dog? Like who would want to? I don't understand what. Like if I was, they must not have any like younger like relatives that know stuff about that. They do need to let go of the rights. They don't have. They must not. The executives of Sony must not have any younger people who know like what. Because if I was like, if like my mom was like the head of Sony or something like that, and she was like, "Yeah, we're thinking about making a Madam Web movie." I'm like, "Madam Web? Nobody care about Madam Web." She's like the only thing I know Madam Web for. She would just tell Spider-Man, "Hey, some mysterious cryptic message in the animated series," and then he would go like, "Yeah, whatever," and then do what he had to do. Or she was in that one Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions game, and she was like if she was in the Spider-Verse as like a side character or like a character, like an important character, she cannot be the main character. No one, I don't even know how Web can't even walk. She only time I ever see her is she's sitting down. She's freaking Brandon Stark from Game of Thrones. That's literally who she is, basically. And then they try to give her a whole movie, and then they have all these other nobody spider characters. Like, if you want to make a movie about a lesser known Spider-Man character, if you don't want to use Spider-Man or if you can't use Spider-Man or something, why don't you use Silk? You could have your own female Spider-Man type character that could do her own different thing. Silk, and she's Asian, you could get some representation in there. Silk, Spider-Man. and she could do her own thing. She had her costume design is tough. You don't have to tie it into Spider-Man. You don't really have to tie it into Spider-Man's lore at all, or you could, if you could do something with it. But she'd be she'd be so tough. Why not make this movie, Sony? Why not do this or something? Like I don't understand. I guess they might be trying to do some cooler stuff with Spider-Man now though, because they are making like a Amazon Prime show with Spider-Man Noir, which could be cool. And Nicolas Cage is playing him. I don't know if is it animated or is it live action. I think it's live action. Yeah, it's live action. I think Nicolas Cage is playing him, or at least voicing him, or something like that. That could be interesting. This could be tough. Because even that, you could make it so much different from the other Spider-Man stuff. Because it takes place in like a noir, like New York, where it's like crime wave. It's like, yeah, same man. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. And I think that'd be tough. And that's a cool. That's if they don't want to make if they want to make different branch things from Spider-Man, Sony needs to do stuff like this. Like, why don't you have a Spider-Man 2099 movie? Doesn't have to be Peter Parker. Doesn't have to be like take the lesson from the Spider-Verse movies, like the animated ones. You can parlay that to some live action stuff. Spider-Man 2099. Instead of doing stuff like villains that don't have nothing to do with Spider-Man, when the whole point of why those villains are good because they have something to do with Spider-Man. Like, I don't want to see a Rhino movie. I remember back a while ago they said they were about to make an Aunt May movie. What? Like, what? Out of all the characters in Spider-Man's, yeah, you see one of the fishes, eh? Out of all the characters in Spider-Man's, like, the Aunt May, I get like, or at least you could have made one about his parents. His parents were Shield agents sometimes, at least. But Aunt May, like, what? I mean, in the whole movie, like going to church, like, what's she gonna be? What's she gonna be doing? But that's just like, I don't know. But back to this, like, I think they need to not be trying to get these like side characters. You need to start your stuff off. You need to be the biggest characters you have available to you. Now, granted, the MCU didn't do this because they couldn't do this. If the MCU was able to, they would have Spider-Man, Hulk, and X-Men movies in their things, but they couldn't do that. So they had to get what they had. They had to work with what they had to work with, which was Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, and all that. But they put their biggest hitters that they had, they put them in the forefront. Then once those were working, then you got Guardians of the Galaxy, you got Ant-Man, you got all these other movies. So if I'm James Gunn, I'm like, you gotta get Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. Well, Superman's already done, but Batman and Wonder Woman, that's what you gotta do. Those need to be your for the movie side. That's what you need to get. If you want to make a Sergeant Rock show, a Clayface show, that's what you put on HBO Max. I did it with Creature Commandos. I like Creature Commandos. A little bit of a Team Suicide Squad, but it was fun. I like this. I like the animated series. It was fire for what it was. I'm not the biggest fan of the whatever they called Creature Commandos, but they need to do stuff like that. Like with lanterns, like see, I don't think you can do imagine Ultimate Timeline more. Yeah, the Ultimate Timeline with that would be crazy. That'd be interesting. I really wish we could have got some Hulk movies. Like a build up to World War Hulk would be so tough. Maybe they could do that in a reboot if they ever. I don't even know why they don't have the rights to Hulk yet. I think they do. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, something like that. But with those three characters for the DCU, it needs to be Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. They need to be their three most important characters, and that needs to be what they focus on. And then after that, you can get in for a character like Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter and stuff like that, like all those type of other side characters in there, stuff like the Flash. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Flash though. But I think a Flash TV show would work. I mean, it's been proven that it would work. But like Lanterns, I'm really hyped to see that show. But what I don't want them to do that show, I don't want them to make it super grounded. They're on Earth the whole time, and they're never not. For the Lanterns, I want the first episode to be on Earth, and after that, they're going to be in space doing Green Lantern stuff. Like they need to go like that should feel like Guardians of the Galaxy. If anything should feel like Guardians of the Galaxy, it should be Green Lanterns, for sure. And with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, like they need to be in space doing whatever. It needs to be like that. I really think they need to take heavy inspiration from the animated Justice League shows. Like I wouldn't care if you bit all the sauce from them. I wouldn't care. Flash TV show. The first 6 seasons was good. After that, That nigga was after the. Oh, I don't know if you ever see this, but after like the first few seasons, the niggas were having lightsaber fights. The niggas were having lightsaber fights. Hold on, the Flash. Yeah, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing would be a. I think that was a movie I was talking about that got pushed back. Swamp Thing would be a cool like horror show. That'd be so tough. And they had the dude that played the Kingpin was going to be Swamp Thing, and that movie got canceled or pushed back or something. But that would be such a cool like horror show and make it like super creepy and like dark. That would be tough. But we don't need that to be a movie right away. At least like let's build out the heavy hitters and then get to that. But the Flash, let's see, lightsabers. This was crazy. This like what like look at this. Hold on. These niggas brought out lightsabers. Like what is this? Like this is like these niggas jumped the shark. Like bro, what? Yeah, there was a Swamp Thing show, wasn't there? I think that got canceled too. But something like that. But this is crazy. Like this is crazy. Shout out to the CW shows though. Those are goated for what they were. Like the first 5 or so seasons of Arrow, first like 6 or so of The Flash, fire. I remember when they used to have they had like 5 of them shows in a row, like a week. Yeah, that was crazy. Like like bro, why are they fighting with lightsabers, dog? Like what? Like what? Like that doesn't make no sense. So crazy to me. Like it was like, and they got like this music behind it, trying to make it like epic and stuff. Like, like bro, that's so wild. That's so crazy. They did that. Oh man. But yeah, I think they need to take heavy inspiration from the Justice League animated shows. That's what I think the Justice League needs to be. That cast. And they already kind of got most of them in there. Justice League Unlimited. No, it was the first one. Well, you can still see them. Like this main 7, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. That's perfect. This is a perfect 7 niggas to be on the team. And you can start flushing out these niggas up here. These niggas up here. But you already got Hawk Girl. I'd even do the whole like Hawk Girl's like secretly a traitor instead she invades Earth with her species later on. That'd be tough. That's not even like that'd be tough, and that's just be fire. I think they should just bite a lot of stuff from this and then kind of like tweak it somewhat. I think they like it's proven to work. Like it's old enough to where like newer people would not really know what it would be referencing. Like this is a tough team, and you just gotta get. I don't know who you can get for Wonder Woman, but Batman, I don't know either. You gotta get somebody. They're trying to do the whole like Batman's a little bit older and he has a son. Like Damon's gonna be in this in his movie, I guess. But I don't know. But anyway, that's my little stuff about DC because I think they need to just start. Like I don't want to see Clayface. I don't want to see. Nah, bro. But with the Flash, do not do what I just showed with the Flash though. Don't do that. I don't know what you do with the Flash, but don't do that. Don't do that for sure. But that's pretty much all my like movie news I want to talk about. But now I got something else fun I'm about to do. About to do some Lee Woo Foo Foo. If you don't know what this is, it's kind of like a this or that type of thing where you pick which one you think is better, and it's like kind of like a tournament style bracket thing. And at the end, you basically decide based on what was going on. It's just random, and they just put different things together. This one is best MCU moments or scenes. And already, I'm going to go with this one, but we can watch it and check it out. The Peter Tingle from Spider-Man Far From. This is his end, right? So loud. Jesus. Okay, this was cool. But this is cool. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's weird that he had to earn his spider sense. I don't understand. Why didn't he just have spider sense? Like it's cool that he get like it's a cool scene. We like locks in and everything. But this is tough. And like, and it's cool the way they had like the mocap suit and everything too. That's tough. But this right here, hey, this is prime. When people say prime MCU, this is prime MCU. This is the type of action I'm talking about.
Do you know me?
This is what I'm trying to get back to.
From the river.
Are they going to show the chase? Like, bruh, this is when Winter Soldier was Winter Soldier. Dude, that's the other thing. I need Bucky to get back on this timing. I need somebody to say them words from that book to activate them. Like, it's just so dynamic. Like, the action in this is like, not to say that we haven't got good action scenes since then. Because honestly, I think the Marvels had great action scenes in that one. That was surprisingly had good action scenes. Shang-Chi has some good ones. And stuff like that. But this is like, we're eating with this. Like, bruh. Like, come on. Like, come on. So, yeah, I've seen enough. The SWAT versus the SWAT scene, that's what I was winning. Good thing. That's prime Captain. Oh, the Hulkbuster fight versus the Star-Lord dance-off scene. I haven't seen either of these in a minute. I haven't seen either of these in a minute.
People of Xander, the time has come to rejoice and renounce your paltry gods. Your salvation is at hand.
Yeah.
Child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Listen to these
Such a
words.
go to the movie, bro. Bro, they dropped this. They dropped they dropped Winter Soldier in this back to back. That's crazy. They dropped that's when they could do no wrong. They dropped this and Winter Soldier back to back.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things
Yeah, they
will
are
get
doing it right.
brighter. Now bring it down hard.
Cause this is more like funny
Someday. Put it
and like a cool like
Dance
like
off,
coming
bro.
together like
Me
moment
and
for
you.
them.
Come on. Subtle. Take it back.
What are you doing?
They should have kept Ronan around.
distracting you.
Ronan had the potential to be a good character too, but this is back when they was just killing niggas. Any villain, if you was a villain in an MCU movie, you're done. You're done. Unless your name was Thanos or Loki, you're done. This is a good scene. I feel like this scene plays better in context if you watch the whole movie. Like, you know, it's cool that they become a team, they come together and everything. But I feel like the Hulkbuster scene is just gonna be like, it's just a straight up fight scene. So it's like, this is tough though. Oh, another thing I want to see from the reboot, I want to see them do like a comic accurate Drax, where he's just like a monster. I guess you don't want to make him too much like the Hulk, but still, they need to power him up a little bit more. I wonder where we're going to see Rocket again, or even the new Guardians from the last movie. Yeah.
You're mortal.
This part was tough though.
Oh.
Said it yourself, bitch. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're immortal, like you're not Ronin, like you're a Kree soldier, bro. Yeah, that is that Guardians should be what they're going for with Green Lanterns. Though I will reiterate that. Now the Hulkbuster fight. I like that we got like this is like probably like the last time we really saw like Savage Hulk, like straight Savage Hulk, like Rampage Savage Hulk.
Everybody stand down.
And they apparently they wanted to make him yeah, yes.
You listen to me?
That
little
bitch
witch is
right there
messing with your mind.
was perfectly
You're
placed, you
stronger
know.
than her. You're smarter than her. You're Bruce Banner. Right. Don't mention puny Banner.
That was the worst thing you probably could have said right there. Apparently they were going to make him gray in this scene too originally, which would have been tough. I haven't seen this in a minute either. I remember they dropped this trailer for this though. Bruh.
In the back? Dick move, Banner.
Why are these people just watching? I would be gone, bro. It'd be like a crowd of people watching behind them.
Veronica, give me a hand.
Like, yeah, y'all shouldn't even be nowhere near this. Like, wow, like how are there still people right there? That was cool. The way he turned off of it, the blast like that. It's such a shame we didn't like a.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah, for real. It's such a shame we didn't get a Hulk trilogy, bro.
Okay, pal, we're gonna get you out of town.
Yeah, I really think if they could have had a whole. I don't know if they could have had a whole phase, but they could have had something like built up to where Hulk gets sent like the way, like kind of the way they do in this movie. Yeah, that happens in this movie. In this movie, he gets sent up to space, and he comes back. Well, he doesn't come back for a while, and then his movies show him on like the Scar Planet and basically the whole Planet Hulk story, and they're not thinking about him, and then they come back, and he comes back with like war ready, like to punish everybody that sent him there. I think that'd be tough, but you know, maybe in the reboot, I don't know, maybe we'll do something with that.
I'm sorry.
This is a tough fight scene though. Oh, they got my stream? Hold on. The stream, hold up. Let me see. Are we back? Are we back? How do I refresh it? Let me see something quick. How do you refresh the stream? Hold up. How to refresh your YouTube stream? Let me see something. Let me see. To my studio dashboard. Okay. How do I restart it? Do I just gotta restart the stream? Oh.